Aloha, I'm Jade the Empath Whisperer, and today we're going to go through different types of intercommunication connectors. Other people will call these divination tools, but these are ways for you to personally connect to your inner communicator. So you have an inner knowing ability. It is natural inside you, and some of us shut it down when we're younger, or we don't listen to it. We don't trust our gut, or we don't trust our inner knowing. Some people get it via feelings. Most of us get it feeling and knowing. And here is a way to build your inner knower muscle. Build it up. Make it a superpower for you. There are some things you need to know before you start with different tools for your inner knower. One of the things to know is that it is in your highest and best to only ask yes and no questions. So whatever you're asking, it needs to have a yes or a no answer. So say you have a multiple choice question. So like, where is the best place for me to move? So if I was considering a move and I wanted to possibly move to Florida, Costa Rica, Hawaii, or Alaska, I would ask each one of those questions separately. I would ask, is it in my highest and best at this time for me to move to this place and get a yes or a no? Then this place, get a yes or a no. This place, get a yes or no. This place, get a yes or a no. You could have more than one yes answer. Then the question would be, so between Costa Rica and Hawaii, which would be in my highest and best to move to if I got yeses to those two? Then you'll get a more clear answer. So you just keep going until you get these simplified answers. Who and what are you communicating with when you go inside for your answers? So that answer depends upon what school of thought that you are connected to. So I am trained in Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP, and I'm also trained in Ancient Hawaiian Huna La'au So within those two different schools of thought, I'm trained that my unconscious mind, my body mind, and in Hawaiian, my unihipili. So that my body mind that mainly resides in my enteric nervous system as far as communication. It resides everywhere. Yet it is in my enteric nervous system, in my gut, that I get communicated with. That my higher self, or my highest consciousness, higher self connection to the divine or God for me, is through there. In Hawaiian, we call it our aumakua. So there's lots of different words for this, but for me, the construct is your body mind talks with your higher mind through your gut. Being raised Catholic, I remember feeling what it was like when the sopranos could hit the notes in Ave Maria. And I knew when they did that I had a deep inner connection with God. And you have a deep interconnection with your communication with the divine, God, creator, the universe, however you want to categorize it. It's perfect for you. So your connecting energy, so the drop down that communicates with you here in the physical, comes in through the gut. So having a way to communicate with your inner knowing allows you to build up that inner trust. And your inner trust muscle helps build up your inner knower muscle, which creates your intuitive as a superpower. So let's take it a little further with the intercommunication tools. There's a couple other things to really know. Our gut, our enteric nervous system, our unihipili, all of this inner knowing works on vibration. And our higher self is the translator between the vibration from the divine, for me, God, into our gut. And from there, we move it outward, whether it's within a behavior, a triggering of a memory, a feeling response. But understand that we're working on vibration. And that's why when we communicate using divination tools or intercommunicator tools, it's easy to access that. It's energy based. Vibrations are energy. And you're talking to your own inner resonance, your own inner vibration, and you're getting communication from there. A second thing to pay attention to when you are using inner communication tools to get your answers or your validations for what you already know or feel is that you need to be very clear and specific with your questions. Here's why. So when I was in the destruction, really, time of a 20 plus year relationship, I was asking the question, is it my highest and best for him and I to be together? That's a pretty general question. And I kept getting yes. After 11 months of struggle, and it wasn't working and things weren't improving, I asked a new question. I asked if we were supposed to be married anymore at this time. And literally the pendulum I was holding flew across the room, hit the sliding glass door at 15 feet away. That was a very, very, very strong no as it flew out of my hand. I encourage you to ask very specific, very clear questions. So why were we supposed to be together? That doesn't make any sense, right? If we're not supposed to be married? Well, let's see. We have children together. We're both in a mystery school together, so we're brother and sister within that. And we spent, at that point, more time together than we've spent apart. As far as than when we were with like our parents. Like we spent more years, we were together over 22 years as a couple than I had spent either with my parents or anyone else in my life, including my children at that point. So it's really important that we pay attention to those kind of things. Getting very specific with our question, getting it as clear as we possibly can, asking it in multiple ways if we need to ask for your highest and best in this time, now. Because the unseen, the vibrational, doesn't really have a time clock. We do here, working in the earth plane. So it's important to ask it specifically. So those are a couple other things to know before you walk into working. All right, let's jump into the tools that we can use. You are your own divination tool. You are your own inner communication tool. What do I mean by that? Well, you might have seen people use applied kinesiology, we call it muscle testing, on people like on a stage if you're at an event or maybe in a video, or maybe if you're seeing a practitioner that works in energy. So some people will put the arm forward and push down, be strong for yes, be weak for no, put the arm out to the side, be strong for yes, be weak for no. And that's when someone else is doing applied kinesiology on you. If kinesiology interests you at all, it's an amazing field. There are some absolutely fabulous practitioners in it, and it is an amazing modality of healing and transformation. What I'm showing you here are personal muscle testing or personal kinesiology tools to use for yourself. They're nothing like what someone who is a kinesiology practitioner can do. Yet they're things that will help you use your inner communication. The first one I want to talk to you about is what I call straight finger. So it's a straight finger, straight pointer finger, and you put your middle finger on top or your center finger and push down on your nail. And it's literally strong. Be strong for yes and be weak for no. Be strong for yes, be weak for no. Be strong for yes, be weak for no. My name is Jade. My name is Larry. My name is Jade. My name is Larry. It doesn't mean your finger might not go down a little bit when you press because you're putting pressure on it, yet it doesn't fold. It doesn't weaken. And this is one of the easiest ways for you to actually learn one real quickly. It doesn't take much practice to feel the difference between your yes and your no. Your yes and your no. Another form of finger kinesiology is to use your fingers in a ring. I've got an owie finger right now, so I'm going to actually use my pinky and my thumb. These are some of the least used. Like your pinky is used the least in our fingers right now. So you could ask, show me a yes, be strong, show me a no. Show me a yes, be strong, show me a no. Show me a yes, be strong, show me a no. And usually one of the sets of fingers will pull away, pull through. If it isn't working for you, that's okay. There are lots of ways to do this. This is just one possibility. Some people struggle because their minds are really strong and they have a tough time with the finger kinesiology. You can use it, I promise you. Just do some practice. Ask questions that are yes and really get that yes muscle as far as the fingers knowing what to do strong. And then do a bunch of no's so that you feel what it feels like when you get a no, and then start interweaving them. Yes and no questions. Things that you already have the answer to inside. Why would you do this? You want to get your form of communication practiced so that you have it in your toolbox. We want to have the strongest toolbox, empaths, to be able to navigate this planet and enjoy it. Another form of kinesiology is a lean kinesiology. And this is where you stand and you ask your body to show you a lean in any direction to answer your question. Yes, and then you find out what your answer is for no. And I'm going to show it to you. So one of the first things to do is put your feet close together. And this allows you to get out of your core a little bit. And I mean right smack together. Put those feet tight together. Loosen your knees a little bit because we want to all stay standing upright as far as no fainting happening. No knee locking. Yes, knees loose. Okay? And then you're just going to ask your body to show you a sway that's an answer to a question. So body, show me a yes, 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 yes answer. I come forward. Body, show me a no, 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 no. I go back. People go different directions. I have a child who goes forward for no and backward for yes. I know people who go left and right. I know others that swirl for their answers. Your way is the right way. I did this with my dad. His yes was a lean in one direction. And he said, well, I don't know that my no isn't clear. So we picked up some sweet rolls off the counter that he had bought at a gas station. And yeah, can you tell I'm really not into that stuff? And I had him hold the sweet roll here by his hypothalamus and ask if this is good for your body. And he said, is this good? And his knees buckled. So however it works for you is perfect. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just your way. When you're using any of the kinesiologies, you need to remember to ask for your yes and no before you use it. Why is this important? Because when you've had big internal pattern shifts, belief shifts, and energy shifts, it can change. Literally, my pendulum turned directions. So before I ask my pendulum a question, I check in. The body sway can change. The fingers usually stay the same. The finger ones, because we ask it to be strong for yes and weak for no, those stay. But you have to remember, say strong for yes and weak for no. These are the ways to make this really effective and easy for you. Asking. Another way to get an answer is to use a pendulum. This is just a simple clear crystal ended pendulum. The other end is actually aventurine. And you just say, pendulum, show me a yes. Stop. Neutral. See, neutral for me is back and forth. Show me a no. And it's going the opposite direction. Again, just like with the lean kinesiology, there's no right or wrong way for the pendulum to go. I know people whose yes is, well, mine isn't still, is completely still, and their no is a movement. However it does it for you is just fine. It's your answer. Your way is the right way when it comes to these kind of things, because you're talking to your inner guidance. Another way of doing divination is to kind of toss something. Now this is a shiny stone on one side. It's been polished and it has a coat, and this side does not. So if I flip it around in my hands and I say, show me a yes or a no to a question, and I feel stop. I'm more of a feeler. So I feel stop, and I am shiny side up. You can use a coin, guys. People have been flipping coins for years. They do it in National Football League yet. Another way to get answers is to create your own cards. I like to use just plain index cards or recipe cards, and I use a pencil so I can't see through, and I write yes on one, no on another, just like that. And I usually write undetermined on a third. The reason I do an undetermined card is that it allows me to know I need to ask a clearer question. So in the beginning, sometimes this is one of the best ways to do it. And I just shuffle them. And let's see. My question is it my highest and best to go to this event tonight? And it's yes. I heard stop. So, yeah, I'm really excited. And another way you can do it is to use cards that are already created and make them have meaning. So if Larimar means yes, and Zebra Stone means no, and Rutilated Quartz means I need more info, I can do the same thing with these cards. I can just shuffle them because, see, the backside, like the index cards, is all the same. So I can shuffle them face down until I hear stop. My question is, will I get all I want to get completed today complete? And that's no. I have an over to-do list. This doesn't surprise me. But the answer to that was no. So this is how I use different things to get my inner answers. Why would you do this? You do this so that you actually have a way to double check yourself, to go inside to get the answers. You have the most important answers and the most clearest communication inside you. And when you start trusting that, this is a great way to increase your knower muscle. You can increase that inner knower because you're already going to have an idea possibly of what you're going to hear, like I just did with those cards. And from there, you're going to have the ability to get confirmation. And that's how I have used a lot of this in my life, is as a confirmation and to also increase my inner knower muscle, which is important as an empath. So thanks for joining me. Hopefully this was beneficial for you. If you've got any questions and you're in one of my programs, I look forward to hearing from you. Ahui ho! And that's Hawaiian for until we meet again.